Hello and good evening everyone, and welcome once again to another fantastic race here at GAVRA Racing. And if you haven't noticed, we are once again in the Ferrari 33 SP, and tonight the drivers are at the fabulous Mugello GP. A lot of leagues really don't run this track too often. I have to say I'm actually very excited to see it running here at GAVRA Racing. The track is fantastic, great turns. It's an extremely fast track, and especially with this car, the LMP9s, the Ferrari 33 SP. Super fast car, lots of downforce, and with this track they will really be able to open it up and see what this car can do around here. And yeah, as I did say, we are here at the Mugello GP. It is 5.23 kilometers or 3.25 miles long, 14 incredible turns. The drivers have 10-minute practice, which they are now down to 6 minutes of, and 10 minutes qualifying, along with a 53-lap race, which sounds long, but as fast as these cars are, they're going to go through here really fast. It's not going to take them long at all to make laps. And just as a quick reminder of last week's podium from Algarve, hopefully my accent didn't completely butcher that too bad. We had Faster in first, Alochamps had second, Flip was third, and y'all voted on Dr. Fiend for your driver of the day last week. We'll go ahead and we'll get that on off of there, and I'll try to make sure it doesn't actually come back this time, because I've been messing that up. And y'all give me 1 second and we will go ahead and go through the driver's points with the last 5 minutes of the qualifying course. Right now we are currently on Faster. Several of the drivers are in the pit. The track temperatures in the top right hand corner are fairly right. I took a quick peek at the weather for this evening's race in the lobby before we loaded in. Oh, I'm sorry about that, excuse me everyone. And there is a slight chance of rain for tonight. I believe there is actually about a 50% chance of rain, so we're gonna have to wait and see if it holds off. If it does, we're gonna see a great race, and even if it doesn't, we see a little bit of rain. With this track, these cars, this is the elite tier of GAVRA Racing, so y'all don't worry, we're going to have a fantastic race. Either way, I'm actually a little curious to see what some of these drivers do in the rain with this car. I was looking for ESR Chef. Where are you at, Chef? There he is. Oh, Chef is in the pit. Last season, Chef was the king of rain. So yeah, y'all give me 1 second, and I will get this microphone and sound bars out of your way so we can go ahead and go over the driver's points and see just how they are standing. Get that off of there. And there we go, yes. Alochamps has 216 points. Faster has 172. Flip has 139. ESR Chef with 122. Hodgker with 121. Agulator with 116. Dr. Fiend with 87. Red 15 with 80. K-Morse with 78. Interceptor with 77. Snaker with 64. ID4 with 50. Manic UK with 45. As y'all can tell, we have a lot of drivers really on top of each other with the points. We still have 6 more races to go after this in this league, so there is still a lot of time for drivers to progress up or down in points. Guri 69 with 25, and Solo Solita rounds us out with 10. go. There are our driver points, and we're going to watch the drivers go around for just a little bit longer before we switch over to the team standings. I actually have SIG's team standing sheets to go over, so we don't have to go back to the lobby during qualifying. I just don't see a lot of point in us having to go look at that lobby screen just in between practice and qualifying. Of course, at the end of qualifying, we will go back to the lobby so we can have a good look at the rundown. We still have 1 minute and 40 seconds left. It looks like Champs is putting in the fastest practice time lap with a 1:35. And once again, these drivers are not going to disappoint us. We can already see the times are really stacking up on top of each other. Even in practice, they are battling for tenths and hundredths of seconds. We can see Flip and Red only 5/100ths of a second separating those two drivers. So that is very, very impressive. Like I said, these drivers never do disappoint. They are always right on top of each other, and I'm very excited to see how this race goes, because this is an extremely fast track. And later on, a little bit later in the race, I will get the driver of the day up on the screen for y'all. All that is still turned on. If I bore you, you can use the I8-ball command and have a little fun getting some pretty good banter from the 8-ball. Last week it didn't disappoint. It gave everybody in the chat a hard time. It was quite amusing. Currently on Hodgker, he ran a 1:37. Just right at 2 seconds off of the leader, Chance, but this is still during practice. The drivers are just getting a good feel for the track, seeing where the grip is, where it isn't. Hopefully they'll get to lay down a little bit of rubber on the track during practice that'll help carry over into qualifying. And of course, if they can get enough rubber on the track during practice and qualifying, that will definitely help them out in the race. Of course, once again, we'll have to wait and see what the weather decides to do for us tonight. Oh, and yep, everybody's pretty much going on into the pit. We'll go back out here to Red. He's still on track. Alright, so I think this is a good time because I'm really slow, and if you know me, you know I'm not good at walking and chewing bubblegum at the same time. So we're going to go ahead real quick, and we're going to pop on over here to our standings page, because it is going to take me just a second to go over all of the team standings. As you can see, we've got some pretty tight runoffs between the drivers tonight. In team standings, in first, we have Tuned Beetle, which is Flip and Champs. They are in the lead with 355 points. In second is Caraculio, which is Agulator and Faster. They tend to team up in any league that they are in together and usually go with the same team name. So Caraculio is a well-known team name in GAVRA Racing. They're in second, again, 288 points. Third is the Disconnection Kings, which is Red 15, who was replacing SIG, and ESR Chef. That is why they had the Disconnection Kings name. SIG and Chef both last season unfortunately suffered from a lot of disconnections. Fourth is LGR Motorsport, which of course is Hodgker LGR and ID4 LGR with 168 points. 5 is Speed of Light, which is Interceptor and Dr. Fiend, 164 points. So they are really right on top of LGR Motorsport. even the team points have a lot to lose and gain with the rest of this season. And in 6th is Super Racing Elite, which is Snaker and K Morse, both very popular drivers here at GAVRA Racing with 142 points. And note, don't cross them out. They are still within reach of speed of light, so they can still really make up a lot of points. 7th is M&M Racing, which is Mike HLB and Manic UK with 88 points. Also, both very talented drivers. And I believe both also compete in tomorrow night's GT3 race, so y'all make sure y'all check that out. That'll be Cypher Knight and Dutch Musso as the commentators, so tune in for them. And I'm seeing over in my other screen here that I was giving Agulator a little bit of commentator curse and didn't even have him on the screen for y'all to see, but I was still cursing him. And 8th is Fumagazi Racing, which is Solo Solita and Guri69 with 35 points. And I know y'all want to see the cars on the tracks, not the standings. So let's go ahead and get that back up. There we go. Oh, yep, and I stayed on Snaker a little too long there, as you can see, and I gave him also commentator's curse. It seems I am not short of commentator curses tonight. I seem to be really dishing those out. Hopefully we're gonna have to get rid of that commentator's curse going on tonight. It's being a little too much already. So far the weather's really holding out very nice. 7.5 minutes left in qualifying. Drivers still not quite put in a time. And I believe as soon as we get a driver with the fastest time, I believe we're going to take an onboard and see just how they tackle the track. Oh, there we go. Red is the first driver to put in a time with a 1:47. We saw in practice, we saw mid to low 1:30, so we know there's going to be a lot to come off of that time. Looks like we still have 1 or 2 drivers hanging out in the pit, and looks like we have a couple of drivers actually even already battling for a little bit of position during qualifying. Like I said, this is a long track, short qualifying, so it's very important for them to get out there and get the times done. How you doing, Evan, tonight? It's great to see you in the chat. I hope you're looking forward to this race, and as I understand it, we believe we have, is it the Project Cars 2 Academy race that is also going on right now? I believe it is. If you're watching me, don't go over there just yet. Wait till about halfway through this race when the drivers get a little bit spaced out, and then go over and check out the Academy. The Academy has not been disappointing. There's been some great racing going on in there. And if you stick this one out through the whole length, then when it's done, then go over and check out the Academy. But regardless, make sure you check out the Academy race today. The Project Cars 2 Academy guys have really been putting it down. And from what I've seen in some of the comments, some of the more senior drivers have been very impressed with what they've been seeing out of some of the new drivers. Looks like most of our drivers now have some type of time in here. So while we still have 5 minutes left in qualifying, we're going to pick somebody and we're going to take a lap around the track to see just how these drivers tackle the track. And we will listen to these beautiful engines, and I will stop torturing y'all's eardrums while we listen to these beautiful engines. And grab me a swallow of water so I can continue commentating. Let's see, who should we see? Let's go on board. We're going to go on board with Alichamps. See if we can get him to scooch over in his cockpit just a little bit there. There we go. So we'll have a quick look around the track with Alichamps, and like I said, I will be right back, y'all. I'm just going to grab me a quick swallow of water because if you can't tell, I'm already quite parched from over talking. And yep, and I'm also just seeing real quick if I have made sure that my chat bot is set up correctly so that it'll show up in the chat when I start the driver of the day and everything. Of course, though, either my chat bot is being a little slow or a little stubborn. But either way, there is a lap around the track with Aloe Champs. He's been doing a great job. As you can see, this is a very, very fast track. It's actually let's pop up our speedo and map, and let's climb back out of Aloe Champs' car. And there we go, get me back to a bigger screen. Yeah, Evan, yeah, apparently chatbot isn't quite working, so yeah, I'm gonna turn him off for a second, leave him off for a second, and restart him, and he should kick back in. We'll try that again in a minute. 2 minutes left in qualifying. Flip has put down an amazing 135.07. Aloe Champs with a 135. Faster also with a 135. Red with a 136. Agulator 136. See, as I said, these drivers are literally going to be right on top of each other, especially on this track. They're really going to have the right foot put down tonight, this race, because you've got some really high speed turns. Dr. Fiend also 136. Marcos is happy with his time with a 136, I believe. He's sitting, actually, I would be too, sitting nice in the middle of the field. Manic UK 137, only 6/10 off of the 136 mark. So as y'all can see, the times really do stack up. Chef looks like he may be happy with his time as well, also 137. Mike HLB is trying to get a little bit faster lap time in. He's at a 138.18. Still very representable. See, you know, all these times literally stacking right up on top of each other. Oh, as I believe ID4 just moved himself up with a into the 137s. Snaker with a 138, just barely, only 3/10 off. He's right there on top of it. I believe we already covered Mike HLB. Hodgker with a 138.7. He's right there on it too. K Morse is happy with his time, but K Morse is an extremely fast driver. Do not think that 144 is representative of what he does in a race at all. He is very talented and very fast. Been with GAVRA Racing for quite some time. Are getting down here to the last little bit of qualifying. So real quick, shameless advertisement. You can find all the links in the description of the video below. There is a link to the GAVRA website, gavraracing.altravista.org. GAVRA is steady adding to it and new things, the announcements for upcoming leagues, all the information on current leagues, as well as driver stats. Track stats as far as record lap times and everything. You really would be blown away at the amount of information that he has on there. And at the bottom of the webpage, and also in the description below, is a link for the Discord channel and a link if you wish to become a Patreon supporter. We are community driven. Quick shameless advertisement over, because now qualifying is over, and looks like we're going to start with Flip in first, Aloe Champs in second, Faster in third, Red in fourth, Agulator fifth, Dr. Fiend in sixth, seventh is Marcos, eighth is Manic UK, ninth is ESR Chef, 10th is ID4, 11th is Snaker, 12th is Mike HLB, 13th is Hodgker, 14th is K-Morse, and that does round out our field. And we're gonna, hopefully this, like I said, the weather is going to hold out for everybody. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And no, this race is starting in the rain, so right now all the drivers are taking full advantage of their 2 minutes and changing over pit strategies and making sure they are prepared for a little bit of rain during the first of this race. And it should clear out later on, and I really wish I could tell y'all that the rain won't come back, but there is a very strong possibility that the rain will come back right at the end of the race. They have rain and then heavy clouds and overcast, and then it will cycle back to rain again. So the sun is not going to come out. It's going to have a hard time drying the track out, making it very difficult on the drivers to choose which is the appropriate tire compound to go with through the different points of the race. So pit strategies is going to have a huge impact on this race, and we have always seen a big mix of two-stop strategies and one-stop strategies. And if y'all will give me just a second, I'm going to real quick see if I managed to make this bot work again. And if I did, then I'll get the driver of the day poll up in the chat in a little while, just so y'all can go ahead and know who I have already pre-nominated for y'all to vote on. All the drivers still trying to get ready. Oh, no, and I missed it. They are off. We've had some major spins in the back. It looks like someone had a very hard time getting off the line. Flip has managed to hold on to his lead. Alichamps is right there behind him as we see all the drivers coming through the first couple of turns, literally side by side. Alichamps is holding on to third, Red's holding on to fourth, Aguilator's in fifth, Dr. Fiend's in sixth, Marcos is in seventh, Manic is in eighth, ID4 is in ninth, ESR Chef is in 10th, K-Morse 11th, Snaker is 12th, I believe that is Mike HLB in 13th, and Hodgker, it must have been Hodgker that got a little too aggressive on the power right off the line, and it looked like he spun it out coming off the line. Very, very unfortunate. And if y'all are looking in the chat, no, my bot is not working yet. Very interesting. But what is actually more important and much more exciting than my lame-ass robot in the chat is this fantastic race. Right now, Flip really get out in front of everybody. Alichamps is right on top of them. We're going to go back to the middle of the field. The middle of the field is extremely tight. We see K-Morse and ID4 battling it out in the background there. ID4 just barely keeping K-Morse fended off at the moment. And ID4 is also really trying to put the pressure on Manic UK, who is right on top of Dr. Fiend. Yes, please, if y'all can't tell, I am steady adjusting some of my settings. I have really turned things up quite a bit this week. It seems on my end everything is looking real good, so y'all please let me know how the video quality looks in the chat. It should be looking very nice. If it does start getting a little funny, please let me know. Still right on top of each other. Lots of action going on in the back of the field. I've got to go check on them. Snaker right on top of ID4. 2 laps into the 53 laps. The driver's right here steady on top of each other. I think this is what we're going to see a lot of tonight. We're going to see a lot of close action on this track. Like I said, very high-speed track, very high-speed turns. It is actually phenomenal. This downhill, well, nope, sorry, y'all, they have not quite got to the downhill run yet. The downhill, the last turn, is about the trickiest turn to make on this track, because it is very, very fast. It's very easy to go really wide on the exit. And I tell you what, I'm going to shut up for 1 second, y'all, and I'm going to get y'all a speedo and a map up there. Oh, as we did have someone else off. Oh, I believe that is, oh no, I believe that was K-Morse off in the background. K-Morse was having a very good run. It looks, thankfully, this track does have a lot of runoff. You're not in a lot of danger of catching the walls. So hopefully he did not pick up any damage, just brought a little bit of mud back on track. But it looks like with the rain we're having, we should have no problems with it getting washed right on off. Drivers in the middle getting a little bit spaced out here, still trying to keep up with each other. This rain is putting well, the rain is being a pain in the ass for a few of the drivers, I can tell you. It is definitely going to make this track very slick. It has a lot of very flat spots. I must admit, I have never raced here in the rain, so I'm not too sure where it is going to puddle up. But we can guarantee that there are going to be some key spots. We're going to see some really big puddles. Manic is refusing to let ESR Chef go. Marcos is still right behind him. Hodgker is making up spaces very quickly, closing the gap to Mike HLB. Snaker still closing in. Oh, side by side. Snakers managed to get the move done on ID4. ID4 is trying to keep ESR Chef fended off, also making it very difficult to combat with Snaker's move there. Fantastic driving right here in the middle of the pack. But I've got to go up here to Alochamps. Alochamps is keeping the pressure on Faster at the moment. It is, this little battle here between Faster and Alochamps is costing them a little bit of time to flip-flip. Flip-flip now with a 2.1 second lead over them, but if he eases off just a little, he's going to have two drivers right on top of him looking to take his first position, so he really does need to keep the pedal down, keep the pace up. He's now extended his gap to 2.8 seconds, so yeah, he apparently definitely knew drivers were closing in behind him. And let me change some of my view real quick, y'all. I want to get climb into the cockpit with Alochamps right there, because there is a lot of spray coming off of these cars. It has got to be very difficult to see where the other car is. There we go. We'll get the map and speedo up for y'all all at the same time. Where's my buttons? There we are. Let's climb in here. Oh, no, he's got a little bit of a gap there, so the spray isn't too terrible bad. And it looks like the rain may actually be slacking off a little bit, which would be very, very early. We're only 4 laps in. This could be quite interesting on pit strategies here. I don't think the drivers anticipated it stopping raining quite so soon. We'll go ahead and we'll climb back out of Alochamps' car. I thought we would see a little bit more spray and we could have a little bit better idea of how difficult it is for the drivers to see once they get up on top of each other. still managing to keep the lead. Alochamp still right on top of Faster. ID4 is right on top of Dr. Fiend, really keeping the pressure on him at the moment. Marcos is in the background with the pressure on top of Manic UK, who is now caught up. Those two have now caught up to ID4 and Dr. Fiend, so we're going to have a little bit of a four-way here. Four drivers literally right on top of each other, either trying to fend off or put pressure on. Makes it very, very difficult. And I have to go all the way down here to K-Morse, who is right on top of Hodgker. He is really putting the pressure on him at the moment. Oh, as K-Morse is gonna go for nope. Oh, he almost was in a good position to go for this move. Like I said, this is a very fast track. And as you can see on the map, these turns are extremely quick. It's very, very difficult to get your car lined up in a good position to be able to make a good move around some of these turns. Even though the turns they're so fast, you have plenty of room. There are great passing opportunities. I don't think there is. This whole track basically is a fantastic passing opportunity, but as fast as these turns are, as we can see, K-Morse is trying his damnedest to get a run on Hodgker, but he's just having a really hard time with these very high-speed turns. But Hodgker doing a fantastic job of keeping him fended off at the moment, and we're just going to have to see how this plays out. K-Morse has really got the pressure on him. He's really letting him know he's there. Oh, he's got a little bit of a run. They're side by side. If I knew where they were on the map, I could make a prediction as to how this next turn is going to come out. Okay. Oh. It looks like Hodgker decided it was in the best interest of this battle and in safety to fall in behind K-Morse, though he will get a little bit of a drier line right behind him. K-Morse will plow a little bit of the water out of the way, leaving Hodgker a little bit of a drier path, a little bit more stability on track, and more confidence in his car. But I have to say that was a great move from K-Morse, but now K-Morse has to keep Hodgker fended off. And I have to go back up here now to Marcos. Marcos is trying to close in on Manic UK. He's got the pressure on him. He needs to get just a little bit closer. As we saw in the previous battle with K-Morse and Hodgker, it is very, very difficult to get closed in on your opponents. A lot of this track literally is how much room do you have in the bottom of your cockpit of your car for things to sit, and how, meaning basically, how fast are you willing to try to push it going around some of these turns, because they are very risky, very high speed. All of them, you can either gain a second or two in each turn or lose a second or two. So it literally is, how much are you going to hang them out there? How much extra room you got in your cockpit to accommodate things, and are you willing to push your car that far and make the risk of spinning it out? So far, all the drivers tonight doing fantastic. Though Manic still trying to close in on ID4. He's right there within it though, but he's going to have a hard time as he is trying to keep Marcos fended off. Our leaders are getting close. Faster is closing in on Flip Flip. He's now only 1.6 seconds off. Just because y'all don't see the little triangles on farther up the field does not mean these drivers are not close to each other. We have Dr. Fiend only 2 seconds from ESR Chef. We have Agulator only 2 seconds from Red. Red is, well, we do have a gap between our top three to Red. We have a 6 second gap between third and fourth. But first, second, and third, Flip Flip, Faster, and Alochamps have really managed to put it down and really get themselves separated from the group here. Doing some fantastic driving, I must say. Oh, I don't want to leave the battle back here, but I believe we have ESR Chef and Snaker trying to get close to each other. And I do have to say, every driver tonight is doing an absolute amazing job. We have seen zero contact between drivers, and even as close as they have been, all drivers being very, very respectful of each other, allowing plenty of space. And if you caught the beginning of the race, you would have also heard me say that this is the E1 top tier league for GAVRA Racing, so I have to be honest, I expect nothing less from these drivers to see the kind of race that we're seeing right now. Marco's still trying to close in on Manic UK. He's tried, if he can get a little bit closer, he may have himself in a good position to make a move. He's going to be very, very close. As we have, I got to go up here. Agulator's closing in on Red. He's trying to get the pressure put on him. If he could stay right there parked behind Red long enough, the pressure will eventually get to Red and he will crack. You just need to take up a lot of space in your opponent's mirrors. Constantly feel him out a little bit, let him know you're looking to make the move, and keep them on the defense because they don't know when you're going to go for that move. All part of very successful attacking strategies. And I believe we are, like I said, this is the top tier. We're going to see some fantastic moves out of these drivers tonight. Marcos also in the back, still closing in, trying to close in on Manic, but I've got to stay right here with Agulator for a minute. I believe Agulator could find himself closing this gap here soon and being able to go for a move. You know, it's going to be risky. It's all about how much extra grip are you willing to depart with as you go around some of these turns. It's a big judgment call, you know. How much power do I want to put down? How much grip do I feel I can spare? And there is that huge line between spareable grip and you just tossed it off into the wall. Or as this track has already said, it has lots and lots of runoff. So here, as we would say where I am in the deep south of the United States, it's a very thin line of sparing a little bit of grip or going way on off into the wild blue yonder. You could find yourself a mile off a track in the wrong spot here. Agulator's doing a great job of keeping the pressure up though. As we now see, I'm going to real quick go back to Chef, ESR Chef, one of the favorites here at GAVRA Racing. Is really starting to put the pressure on Snaker. Snaker is very, very talented though. Chef is going to have to work very hard to keep the pressure on Snaker and to be able to shake Snaker. Snaker takes the pressure very well. Farther on back down the field as, yep, we have a lot of battles going on back here. K-Morse right on top of Manic UK, and Manic is really not all that far from Marcos. K-Morse is looking to make himself a fantastic recovery, and he is doing a really good job so far, I must say. Yep, and there we are. Manic UK is now closing the gap on Marcos, so we've got a little bit of a three-way here. Each driver gets a little bit of space, but finds himself tied up with another driver. So it is a constant. I've got to get a little bit of space from this driver behind me so I can try to catch the one in front of me and potentially make a move. The one in front sees you doing that, gives it a little bit of extra gas, increases that gap, and the driver in the back also sees you pulling away in the middle and gives it a little gas and closes it. So it's a lot of back and forth. Fantastic handling of his car right there from Manic UK, but that did cost him a little bit of time, putting K-Morse literally right on top of him. Oh, as I've got to go up here to the front, we have the leaders now closing in on each other. Faster is closing in on Flip Flip, 1.3 seconds off of him. I think we're going to see him close it right back up to the 1 second mark. Snaker and ID4 in the farther down the field going at it, along with K-Morse and Manic also still going at it. Manic and Marco still going at it. Oh, Flip Flip put a little bit more power down and increased his gap for Faster. Apparently he was not very comfortable with Faster getting so close to him. Faster's going to have to try a little harder to live up to his name, but he never disappoints. He has earned his name. Faster, he is, all I can say is he definitely has earned his name. Time and time again, covered him several times in the touring class league, and he always did a fantastic job. And I think that is where he earned his name, to be honest. He's closed the gap back in now on Flip Flip. We've got a good battle going on here from Flip Flip and Faster. Flip Flip is really trying to do everything he can to keep Faster fended off. Faster getting down 8 tenths behind him. The gap is getting smaller. 7 tenths back. Now, Flip Flip is now increasing the gap again. We're seeing a great little battle here, and it is allowing Champs is also going to catch up and get himself involved in this a little bit. Faster may find himself held up a little bit from Champs. Farther down the background is Agulator, catching up to Red. ID4 catching up to Snaker. K-Morse and Manic UK still in the inevitable battle here. And I believe that, don't think that is early enough to see a, nope, that was, I believe that was Hodgker, showing very much respect on the leaders of the race and letting them by, and a great job from the leaders making that a nice safe pass. Didn't look like it hurt Hodgker too bad. Hodgker's trying to get himself unlapped, so he is trying to put some power down. Always a tough call there. I think from my point of view, that was a massive display of respect from between all of the drivers involved there. Flip Flip, Faster, Champs, and Hodgker. Just a great display of respect all the way around. Champs still trying to close in on Faster. Agulator trying to close in on Red. He is within the 1 second gap. Marcos right on top of ID4. So y'all, if you can't tell, I've been talking a lot, and I'm gonna mute my mic for 1 second here. Try to see again why my chat bot is not working, because I want to start getting the driver of the day poll up here in a little bit, just so y'all know who I have given y'all the ability to vote on. But I don't want to see any of these. I don't want to miss any of this action on track, as we are just covered up in action from front to back here during this race. We are on lap 12 of the 53. It does look like the rain is slacking off a little. Well, nope, it can't seem to make up its mind. It appears on one side of the track it is a little bit lighter on the rain, and then on the other it is not. Champ still trying to close in on Faster. We're going to stick with K-Morse and Marcos here. Oh, Manic is going through the pit. It's a little early. 12 laps in. Yeah, I'm looking at other drivers' fuel levels. It's too early to take fuel. He must have had something happen to his car there that we just did not see. Hopefully he'll be able to get it right back out on track. But in the meantime, we're going to stick with K-Morse here. He is not letting Marcos go. He's really keeping the pressure on him. I think we're going to see this battle between these two drivers go on for several more laps to come. Possibly a good chunk of the race that we will see these drivers right here constantly trying to attack each other. I must say, this is fabulous racing. And yeah, I will be right back, y'all. I'm going to check on my chat bot. I'm gonna slap my chatbot around, or my chatbot may retaliate and punch me in the eye. I'll let you know how that works out in just a minute, and I'm also gonna grab a quick swallow of water. So yeah, don't miss the action, y'all. I'm not going anywhere. Y'all just enjoy the cars, and I won't be here to torture your eardrums for just 1 minute. Yes, as threatened, I am still here. I've yet to grab me a swallow of something to drink, and I don't know if y'all can tell, but yeah, all this action on this race tonight is just absolutely, it's already starting to just wreck my voice. Oh, we do have one off wide. I'm not sure who that was. I could not tell if there was any contact there. I don't think there was. I think it was a kind of a quick. It just actually scared the shit out of both of the drivers there. It doesn't look like anyone took any damage. So I'm gonna call that again good respect and top-notch driving from everyone involved there. And just to help make sure the commentator's curse doesn't kick in right here, we're gonna go up to, let's scan up the field and see who else is pretty close. There we go. Well, look at that. Perfect timing. Agulator closing the gap on red. So yeah, I'm going to disappear for half a second more again, y'all. Grab me a quick swallow of water so I can keep commentating on these just massive battles. 14 laps out of the 15, 53 laps of the race. So stay tuned. Keep your eye on the action. Lots of going is... See? That's why I got to take a break. Lots going on, and I'll be right back. Still massive battle going on in the background with K-Morse has made his way up into 10th, chasing Marcos. Still, Agulator still trying to keep the pressure and keep up with red. Let's see, who else do we have a little bit down here on the field? We've got a 2-second gap now between Flip in first and Faster in second. Also about a 2-second gap from Faster and Allochamps in third, and from there we do have a 16 gap between the rest of the drivers. But yes, Flip, Faster, and Allochamps definitely made off with the first of this race, but there is a long way to go. A lot can happen, so we will just have to see how this plays out. Still in the back, K-Morse and Marcos. These drivers are literally not going to let each other go. They have been battling it out for 16 laps basically now. And like I said earlier, I don't think we're going to see this go anywhere. This is going to be very incredible to watch. I'm sitting here, I'm sorry y'all, I'm trying to get my bots to work. I'm sitting here, I'm seeing in the analytics that we have had several new subscribers today. So thank you very much for the new subscribers. If my bot was working right, it would make a post in the chat so that I could actually see it and know your name and could give you props in the chat and while I'm talking for subscribing. But thank y'all very much for subscribing. My goal for this season is to get GAVRA Racing up to 1,000 subscribers. I believe I looked right before this started and we were up to about 830. We started this season with right at 700, so as y'all can tell, we are doing a fantastic job of getting our subscribers on up to the 1,000 mark. And yeah, so I think we should have no trouble by the end of the season hitting my goal. And come next week, I will actually, maybe I will make a thing to put up on the screen for y'all for that kind of stuff. So yeah, still, K-Morse is still trying to get by there. Oh no, I missed something there, and yep, Marcos has came on in the pit. Looks like he's definitely going to take some tires, and oh, he is taking a buttload of fuel. Let's have a look up here at Flip. I'm not going to, still too early in the race. I am not going to start talking about drivers' fuel levels yet, because some of the drivers do watch the broadcast, and I don't want to let them in on the other drivers' pit strategies. Now, if they can figure out a way for them to actually be able to drive their car and look at the chat and read the amount of fuel level on the screen, that I can't help, but I'm not going to tell them. But yeah, so I'm going to say that Marcos, I think, definitely is going for a very unusual early pit stop strategy. Let's just look through here at some of the other drivers and look at their fuel levels just to see, just to confirm what I suspect here. Yeah, I believe, yeah, I was right. And oh, we have Faster trying to close in on Aloe Champs. Still being a very close race from many of the drivers all the way down the field. Flip now managing to get himself with a 7-second lead. Flip all of a sudden, I'm not sure what's happened. Flip is definitely, he is one of our resident aliens. Well, everyone in the top 3 are actually Flip, Aloe Champs, Faster. We have a lot of resident aliens in GAVRA Racing. Some of them are extremely fast, and it can be quite daunting to try to catch them on track. Let's just say that. Looks like Aloe Champs has managed to increase his lead just a little bit there over faster. So let's look on down here. Let's go down through the field. And looks like the drivers have a little, we're still 19 laps out of the 53, not quite halfway. I'd say we're about a third of the way through the race. Drivers are a little spaced out, but not too bad. So we'll do a quick rundown of where everyone is sitting. And yep, y'all give me 1 second. So yes, we have Flip is currently sitting in first. Alochamps is in second. Faster is holding on to third. Red in fourth. Agulator is fifth. ESR Chef is running sixth. He has Dr. Fiend right behind him in seventh. Snaker is in eighth. Ninth is K-Morse. 10th is ID4. 11th is Hodgker. Mike HLB in 12th. He's going ahead and making his pit stop. Looks like he's probably going to go for a dual pit stop. We've got a lot of the drivers starting to come in. They're definitely really starting to chew through their wet tires. As we can still see, there's still a little bit of rain, plenty of spray on the track. Yep, Mike HLB in 13th, and Manic UK is in 14th. Like I said, there we see several of the drivers starting to come through the pit. Oh, as Manic got a little bit wide there. I believe, I can't see what kind of tires he had on. There is the possibility, because the rain is slacking off, he may have tried to go with a slick compound over the rain tires, because it does appear that some of the track is actually quite dry. Right here we can see no spray, and I believe, let's just check and make sure. Yes, because Flip is giving the flash. Yes, that is Flip right behind Manic. So I believe Manic is really just looking for a spot to be able to let Flip get by him real quick without costing himself too much time. And yep, and there he is. There's Manic getting on out of the way, allowing Flip to come on in. Nice move there. Yep, it can be quite difficult at times on track, trying to figure out the best spot or a good spot to let your leaders by. If you let them by in the wrong spot, it can cause both of you a lot of issues, cost both of you a lot of time. So you try to let them by as early as you can, but it has to be in the right spot, or you really just end up hurting each other. They lose time because they're trying to avoid you, because you're trying to slow down too much in a bad spot on the track. It just makes for an odd situation. Looks like Red now catching up. Nope, Red's coming out of the pits. K-Morse has found himself now in 5th. So as we can see, pit strategies are going to have a lot to do with how this race plays out tonight. It does look like a good portion of the track has dried out. Despite my beliefs, I really did not expect a lot of the track to dry out. So I think definitely we're seeing a lot of the drivers going on in, taking the slick tires. Oh, it looked like K-Morse kicked up a little bit of a puddle as he came around that last turn. So definitely still some puddles on track. It is not completely dry. K-Morse taking that turn very, very fast, doing a great job of keeping it on track. he is taking full advantage of every inch of this track through there, as we can see. Getting his outside tires on the very nice, solid, stable curbing, avoiding the ones that you can't get on. Yeah, he is taking advantage of the full track. He's really trying to push very hard, and I don't blame him. He's done a great job to find himself in 5th. Though we'll have to see how this plays out later on with pit strategies. So since we are on lap 21 of the 53, approaching the halfway mark, we're going to do another quick rundown of where everyone is sitting, because later this is going to change a lot because of pit strategies. So we are currently sitting with Flip still in 1st, Champs in 2nd. I don't believe these drivers have pitted yet. These drivers are pretty good about making the 2 pit stop strategy work for them, though it is very difficult. I think I've heard some of the drivers say that on different tracks this car really does chew through tires. Dr. Fiend is in 3rd at the moment. Oh, Dr. Fiend has managed to get past Faster. Okay, I see. Faster has gone in and pitted, and that has allowed Dr. Fiend to end up in front of him. But as y'all can see on the screen, once again, drivers watch the stream. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but we can see this could change. And oh, who was that? Dr. Fiend, Faster, I believe. Who was that behind Dr. Fiend right there? Not sure who that was behind Dr. Fiend, but they're really trying to get the pressure on Dr. Fiend. Yep, Dr. Fiend's going on into the pit, which is going to give Faster back the 3rd position. And yep, Dr. Fiend's now in 4th, K-Morse in 5th still, Agulator in 6th, Red is in 7th, ESR Chef in 8th, ID4 is 9th, 10th is Snaker, 11th is Marcos, 12th is Mike HLB, who is really putting some pressure on Marcos at the moment. So maybe we'll get to see a move out of these two here shortly. I believe we probably will. I've raced Marcos and Manic. Both of them are, excuse me, Marcos and Mike, and they are both very talented. If the opportunity presents itself, they will definitely go for the move. Hotchker is 13th. Hotchker quite a... Well, no, that's right. I'm sorry, y'all. I almost forgot I am not talking about pit strategies just yet. And, of course, Manic UK is bringing up the rear. He's still going to be out for a little while. He's been having a really good race. Do not count him out. We are almost halfway. Long way to go. Very difficult track. Fatigue is going to start setting in. Along with the pit strategies, we're going to see some big moving around here. Mike HLB looking to close the gap on Marcos still. K-Morse is closing the gap on Agulator. He's got him right there just under the 1 second mark. And our leaders are currently in the pit. Faster, Flip, and Allo Champs all in the pit. Looks like they had just started coming back out of it. Sitting here with drivers. Pit strategies have the field very, very interesting at the moment. We do have some battles still. Red trying to keep up with K-Morse. Red very, very fast. K-Morse extremely talented. And we're really just going to have to watch this one to see how it plays out. He's these are definitely two titans here in GAVRA Racing battling it out, so neither one of them really has much of an upper hand on the other one. Red has forced the mistake. K-Morse is not going to give it up easy, though. I believe we're going to see K-Morse right back on top of him. Or wait a second here. Let me look at that. Alright, so I'm not going to talk about pit strategies, but I am going to say K-Morse's tires have a lot more wear on them than Red's. Red's tires do not have all that many laps on them. So he is definitely, K-Morse put up one hell of a fight, but when it comes down to it, Red literally just had him out-gripped with tires. That's just all there is to it on that one, but fantastic job from K-Morse keeping up with him. And K-Morse is still trying to close this gap back up. Nope, K-Morse is going to go on in through the pit. Yeah, see, I believe K-Morse is still running on his wet tires. He has not pitted yet. This is his pit stop to get off of the wet compound tires. So I would imagine his tires are in horrible shape at the moment. To be honest, what I am thinking his tires probably looked like before he came in here, I have to say, I don't see how he was actually able to control his car. There literally could not have been anything at all left of his tires with a couple of laps on a drier track. On the wet tires, he'll cook them in a heartbeat, especially with all the downforce these cars have and as fast as they're going around these turns. I mean, right there we have ESR Chef coming. It is slow in, fast out, but his slow going into that turn was 121 miles an hour, and his exit speed was in the high 130s. So even the slow is not very slow in these cars and this track. Yes, if you're looking in the chat, it appears the 8-ball command isn't working, which I do like the 8-ball command, because once I get it working, I know that my driver of the day poll will actually work. So, yeah, I'll just go ahead and give that a shot, and hopefully it will work. Of course, with my luck, I'm sitting here asking the Magic 8-Ball questions in the chat for this race, and it is probably answering in the Project Cars 2 Academy race. Bots be funny. They're weird. They're very odd creatures. They have minds of their own. I started the vote for driver of the day, so we'll just we'll give that a minute and actually see if it pops up in here or not. Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But this is shameless advertisement time, as we are still seeing Marcos closing in on Snaker, but still, once again, go to the website, gavraracing.ultravista.org. Gavra has tons of information on there, information on past leagues, present leagues, upcoming leagues, sorry y'all, as well as all the stuff to fill out and join any of the leagues. I believe they are all full right this second, but a couple of them are getting close to the end of the season for a few of the particular leagues. So sign up. The administrators always have something in the works and always keep leagues going. So you're really not going to miss out. You may have a week or two to prepare yourself to get into the next league, which can be very useful if you are one of those that find yourself in that situation. I do recommend taking advantage of that short time period to get in some fun lobbies with some of the other drivers, have a little bit of fun, raise your skill level on up a little bit, and it'll give you a chance to see what your competition might just be like. Also on the website is track stats, track information, driver stats and information, driver histories, leaderboards, fastest lap times, all the way back to the beginning of GAVRA Racing. And in the very bottom of the page, you will find a link and invite to the GAVRA Racing Discord channel, as well as a link to the Patreon site if you do, by chance, want to become a Patreon supporter of GAVRA Racing. We are completely community driven. It is everyone from you, the viewers, to the drivers, the administrators, commentators, GAVRA himself. Everyone donates a massive amount of time to make these races happen and to try to bring y'all a good show and provide great racing for all of the drivers. And yeah, if y'all have looked, you can tell my chatbot does not want to work for some reason. Not too sure about that. Oh yes, Flip. Thank you very much, Razy. While I was running my mouth, Razy is keeping me on my toes, and Flip is really closing the gap on Faster. I want to see Flip get up here and take this position. Let me look at Faster. I'm not going to talk about their pit strategies, but all I'm going to say is these two drivers are going to be out here for quite a while, potentially all the way to the end of the race. So this right here is most definitely a hardcore battle for first and second place. And they've got themselves a little bit of a lead on Allochamp. So yeah, they are free to really fight it out here. As I said earlier, Flip, one of our resident aliens. Faster, also though, one of our resident aliens. So this is going to be a great battle as these two keep caught up with each other. The track is dried out a little bit. We're just over the halfway mark. Lap 29 of the 53. Still, anything could happen. If y'all haven't noticed yet, this is an extremely fast track. Very fast turns. Even the low speed turns, for lack of a better word, is not a low speed turn. Even those are 70 to 100 miles per hour. So very, very fast. Farther on down the field, we've got K-Morse trying to catch up with ID4. Still, K-Morse is really out to prove his mettle in this race. He has been in a constant battle with someone the whole time. I'm going to... Don't want to leave this. Nope, see in there, that's why I don't want to leave this battle right here with Faster and Flip. They're literally right on top of each other. If I try to go take just a quick pick at K-Morse and ID4, I'm really scared we're going to miss something here at the top. These are our leaders, so I'm going to stick with them, because this is, like I said earlier, this is a great battle for first and second. Faster's doing everything he can to try to catch up with Faster. It looks like we do have a back marker in the between them at the moment. Not too sure who that is going to be. It looks like they are trying to get out of the way. It's just a really bad spot in the track there. Yep, fantastic job from the back marker getting out of the way. Didn't appear to cost the drivers, the leaders, any time, or the back marker. That was fantastic respect from the drivers. That back marker picked a very good spot to let him by. And just personal note, why do I keep picking out all these great places where these guys, the back markers, are letting their blue flags by? Well, it's because I suck at choosing a good spot to let my leaders by. I'm terrible at it. I usually just end up just pulling off the track and letting them go by, which is not the best thing to do. Oh, as Flip went a little bit wide there, he had another... Yeah, okay, first and second is definitely... They're catching up to the rest of the field. And he was, yeah, very fast turn there. Flip just was a little bit too much there on the inside. I think that was a great example of no one's fault, just it was just a really bad spot for Flip Flip to catch up to the back marker there. Back marker was trying to give him all the space he could. It looked like Flip Flip was carrying just a little bit more speed than he thought he was. It did cost him that little off track right there did cost him a second from faster though. So this track proving to be very difficult despite the fact that we have a lot of room on track for the drivers. So yeah, definitely worked out good for faster. He's increased it, managed to get himself a little bit of a comfort zone. Dr. Fiend right here on top of Red, or trying to anyway. ESR Chef closing in on Dr. Fiend. And we are definitely not going to forget some of these drivers down in the back are actually very close as well. Marcos is steady trying to catch up to ID4. He was right there within the 1 second. Okay, yep, I'm going to have to mute my mic for 1 second, y'all, and I'll be right back. If you couldn't tell, my voice just took a nosedive like we see so many of the drivers' tires do. So I will be right back after a quick swallow of water. Okay, and yep, still here in the background we have Marcos closing in on ID4. This is about the middle of the race. The drivers do get a little bit separated here, but y'all don't leave. Keep watching. The drivers are going to put themselves right back on top of each other. They always do. We still have another round of pit stops to go, so we still have a lot of strategy to take place between now and the end of this race, which will be in another 22 laps now. A lot of time left, lots can happen. It's going to be very exciting. And looking up towards the top, Flip Flip has now has his gap down to 1.6, 1.7 seconds. He's trying very hard to get close back in on faster again. I believe before it is over, we're going to see another battle for first and second. Marcos pushing very, very hard right here, trying to catch up with ID4. And as we can tell on a lot of the sides of these cars, that is a lot of rubber buildup where they were just literally destroying their rain tires out on the dry track. Rubber builds up on the track, it also builds up on the cars. And of course we are still not, as we do have them going side by side. It looks like Marcos was in a good position there to take it from ID4. ID4 is going to go right back at it though. He almost had the switchback. ID4 went a little too deep there trying to go for the switchback. I don't think he expected Marcos to go as wide as he did. I think he anticipated Marcos hanging to the inside of the turn, trying to keep him sealed off and stay on the defense, which if he had, that would have allowed ID4 to go for the switchback. Marcos, fantastic driving, managing to get exactly where ID4 wanted to be. That was some fantastic defense, and as promised, here is Flip Flip now closing back in on faster. He closed that gap very, very fast. Took almost a full second out in about half of a lap. So Flip pushing very, very hard here. He really wants to see if he can knock Faster out of the top position. And we're just going to have to hang in here for a minute and see how this plays out. I think it is going to be very impressive regardless, or not going to be. It is. I mean, look at the time, how fast he has carved this time out. He was at a 1.7 second gap, so he has managed to carve out 1.4 seconds in just under one lap. That means he is really putting that right foot down, controlling the arrow on the car, keeping the car balanced through the turns, and being able to really, really get the power down. Oh, no! Oh, as I was just talking about it, that was definitely, oh, that was so much of a commentator's curse. I was just talking about getting the power down to the tires, balancing the car, and Faster hit the outside curb. It severely unbalanced his car and put him straight into the wall. Faster, you can send me a very, very ugly message. Make sure it's a private message though, but you are more than welcome to send me a very, very ugly message at the end of the race for that. That was 100% a commentator's curse. So I'll keep an eye on my inbox on our Discord channel. And real quick, y'all, if you have not joined the Discord channel, you're interested in sim racing, and want to check us out, as you can see, the driving is always fantastic. The admins put on some organized great races for us, so join the Discord. Yep, and Faster, yeah, he is going to have to go through the pit. He's definitely going to have to get his car fixed. He hit that wall very, very hard, unfortunately. So now it is going to be, we could end up seeing quite a battle for second, and, oh, no, Faster still in the pit, allowing, I was thinking Faster could get back out in front of Allo Champs. This could allow Flip to really run away with the lead. Faster was his closest competition. He was right there on top of him. There is a 18-second gap now between Flip in first and Allo Champs in second. Faster still in the pit. He's also lost third to Agulator. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah, Faster. Man, send me a really dirty message after the race is over. You can totally blame that on me. That was 100% a commentator's curse. We also have Hodgker in the back going through the pit. And sorry, y'all, I'm sitting here, I'm looking through the field, trying to look at the times and see who is and is not very close to each other. Okay, Faster has managed to get back out on the grid. He's holding on to fifth. He is only 3 seconds from, nope, take that back. He is not quite 3 seconds. I would guess that is about 2.8, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot. A tenth is a lot on track, and for these drivers, that is something that they battle for entire races for. They battle for tenths. So Faster is going to try to close the gap back up to Red. He now has it down to 2 seconds, 1/10. He's really trying to get that gap closed back up. He really wants to try to get back up the field if he can. Red is going to be on the massive defense here in just a minute. Whether Faster can catch all the way back up to Agulator or not is a whole nother story. I'm not going to cross it out. We have a lot of laps to go. So anything can still happen. But I do have to admit, 20-second gap is a lot of time to carve out. Faster's time is being very impressive. He has came back out of the pit very determined and with a goal, and we can tell because he has very quickly run down Red. I think the most confusing part about why the bot is not posting the poll is because I didn't even mean it to, and it posted one for the GT Sport race that was right before this one. So I real quick changed it over so the GT Sport race had the driver of the day vote in the chat, and of course though now it doesn't work. So yeah, quite confusing. Me and my robot are gonna have to have a very, very serious talk after this race. I have a feeling though, as with most arguments that have happened in my lifetime between me and a woman, I have a feeling the bot is gonna win this argument. Bots and women, always right. Just give it up, go with it. You'll be happier that way. Red going through the pit, which is definitely gonna allow Faster to take that 4th position. Like I said though, 20 seconds is a lot of time to carve out. He does have a chance of running Agulator down though. Let's see, just under 20 laps left. So if he can manage to carve out, if he can go about 1.5 seconds per lap faster than Agulator, he could find himself in a battle with Agulator right there at the end. And as I'm saying that, we can see the time actually going down. Faster is very determined at the moment to try to catch up with Agulator. He knows exactly how much time he needs to carve out at each lap, and he is trying his damnedest to make it happen. This is absolutely fantastic driving out of Faster at the moment. But I've got to go back here. Marcos and K-Morse. K-Morse steady in the battle this whole race. He has had not one lap, I believe, not in a battle. So he has definitely been on the edge of his seat the whole time. We've got them side by side. K-Morse is managing to... Oh, no, I don't know who is going to make this happen here. They were changing positions so fast coming through there. It was hard to keep track of who was going to come out on top. Marcos did manage to stay in front of K-Morse. K-Morse really has the pressure on him. He is taking up all of Marcos's mirrors, making sure he knows he's there, trying to keep him on the edge of his seat. Because I must say, it is a little bit more intimidating when you have that driver behind you, when you see him actually moving around a little bit, letting you know he's looking to make that move and not just stay complacent and sit right there behind you. So yeah, K-Morse is definitely trying to keep Marcos shaken, and I believe he's gonna do a good job. K-Morse puts on great pressure. I have to go back down here to ESR Chef, trying to put the pressure on ID4. He is within the 1 second gap. And as I said earlier, there is a very slight possibility. We still have about a 10% chance of rain moving back in before this race is over. So, as always, with this top tier in GAVRA Racing, the Ferrari 33 SB, we never know what is going to happen. Anything can happen. And regardless, the drivers never disappoint. They always give us a fantastic show to watch. Flip is closing the gap on K-Morse there. Wait a minute. I missed something, I believe. I could have swore we saw Flip in the lead just a moment ago, if I was right. Yes, I'm looking back in the chat and I can see AA Razy's last chat in there saying that, yeah, Flip was closing in on Faster. That was quite a while ago. Flip may have gone through the pit and I was not paying attention because I was so wrapped up in some of these other battles. We are down to lap 38 of the 53. I believe we should have, for the most part, seen all of the drivers come in for their final pit stops. I don't want to leave this battle. Flip is putting major pressure on K-Morse. As I said earlier, K-Morse has been in a non-stop battle for this entire race. 38 laps now. K-Morse has been on the edge of his seat, either trying to keep someone fended off or trying to make the attack. Oh, Flip's going to go for it around the outside. K-Morse still got the inside. This still is not over. Flip may have the move there. Nope. K-Morse right back on top of him. Oh, as we saw, K-Morse did get a little bit wide there. Let's check in. Nope. K-Morse should be out for the distance. Looks like he may have just put a little too much on his tires and sacrificed a little too much grip through one of those turns. And probably blistered the outside of his tire, which it'd take you a couple of turns to get that blistering back off of your tires and get back down to some good grip. Happens all the time. Oh, okay. But Razy is tuning in on the chat. He is saying that Flip had to go in. He did have a pit stop, and it looked like he may have. Yeah, it does look like there's a little bit of damage on the front of it, Razy, as you say. It definitely looks like right in the middle he's got a little bit of a fold there from what I can see. Hopefully he will be able to make up a few more spots though. Let's see here. So we are currently sitting with Aloe Champs is in the lead. We're right here at the end, 41 laps of the 53, so at this point I don't mind talking about fuel levels and what we could potentially see. So we've got Aloe Champs, 35 liters. He's definitely staying out for the distance. Agulator, 24 liters in second. I believe Agulator's going to be cutting it close, if I dare say. He could be very, very close to his limit of fuel at the end of this race. These cars have a massive V12. This is a very fast track, so they are really burning through the fuel. It definitely, yeah, now looking at Faster's car, Flip is definitely carrying some damage. So yes, A.A. Razy was 100% correct in the chat in saying that Flip had a little bit of damage there. It looks like Faster may have had to go with a oh crap pit strategy, as he is carrying a very excessive amount of fuel, 70 liters. It's definitely going to hurt his time, but he's sitting in a little pocket there. I think Faster just needs to keep some very consistent laps at the moment. I don't see him catching Agulator, but he is not in danger from being caught from Dr. Fiend as long as he keeps just nice, clean laps. Dr. Fiend, 35 liters. I believe we will see him out for the duration of the race. Red also will not be coming back into pit. Flip, 6th, 38 liters. No, I don't. Flip is not going to stay in. He has a good chance of making up a little bit of time. If there is a driver on track that is going to close a massive gap with what little time we have left, I believe it would be Flip. Marcos in 7th. Ooh. We will see Marcos is going to have to come in. He's down to 12 liters of fuel. And like I said, I just got done saying this is a very, very fast track. It's a long track. Your right foot tends to stay all the way down, so you burn through a massive amount of fuel. K-Morse with the 41 liters. Marcos does have a nice little gap. There is the possibility Marcos could potentially get through the pit, take what little fuel he needs, and get back out on track in front of K-Morse, though I must admit it is going to be very, very close. Hodgker is in 9th, 39 liters. We will not see him pit again. Chef with 51 liters. Chef also carrying a little damage to the front of his car. Though it is right here at towards the end, it's getting close to the end of the race. 13 laps left. It's really it's too risky, in my opinion, to try to pull in to try to fix any damage. It doesn't look too terrible bad. I mean, obviously, if they had some steering rack damage or major suspension damage, that would be a whole nother story. It would be worth pulling in to try to fix, but from what it looks like, I think most of the drivers are good to go. They're going to be out for the duration. Snaker, 51 liters of fuel. We will not see him pit again. Thinking Snaker may also have had to go with a pit strategy he was not crazy about. ID4 getting back out on the track, 44 liters. He will also be out for the duration of the race. So Alochamp still in the lead with a massive 26-second lead over Agulator. And I'm trying, y'all have to excuse me, I know I'm getting a little quiet here and there. I'm trying to look through the grid, see who is very close to each other. And I do remember, and everyone else remember, we are going to have at least one driver in the middle of the pack is going to have to come in for a pit. I believe it was... Yes, it is Marcos now, and I will say, Marcos, every race I've seen with him on his fuel strategy, he is very, very on point with his fuel strategy. I have seen him come into pit with literally 1 liter or less of fuel more times than I can count. And just to let y'all know, I can only count to 5. That's it. I have 5 fingers. I haven't mastered counting on 2 hands yet, so I have to go with the 1. So, yeah, you can't say I'm lying when I say Marcos has come into pit more times than I can count on 1 liter of fuel. This is going to be very, very interesting between Marcos and K-Morse. K-Morse isn't going to have to pit. We've got a 12-second gap between K-Morse and Marcos. And I'm trying to look to figure out who that is behind K-Morse there. I know it is a blue flag. Yep, K-Morse giving them the flash, telling them to come on by. Fantastic out of K-Morse. And let's see here. Yes, because K-Morse is in no danger from Hodger unless he does something very drastically wrong. I think a lot of the drivers, except for a couple of pit stop strategies, most of the drivers, if they will just do exactly what they've been doing the entire race, just keep laying down consistent, clean laps, we are looking very close to what our final grid is going to look like. Marcos, like I said, Marcos and K-Morse are the most interesting out of all of them at the moment. Let's check in on Red and Dr. Fiend. Okay, both, yep, are definitely out for the duration. 8-second gap. Red is very, very fast. He started late in this league, and I believe I said it last week. He has taken the Ferrari 3.3 SP league by storm. He started out in the bottom, started late. He has done fantastic, got himself some great points, and is moving himself right up the grid very, very quickly. And so I do believe Red does stand a good chance of closing the gap to Dr. Fiend, which he now has down to 7 seconds. So just in that short amount of time, it went from an 8-second gap to a 7-second gap. And if y'all can't tell, my voice is fixing to do like, unlike the driver's tires, my voice is just fell off the cliff. Driver's tires are holding on good. I'll be right back, and we're going to stick with Marcos on his 1.9 liters of fuel. it is looking like, oh, there we go. I was fixing to be very, very concerned for Marcos for a second. I thought he was gonna, I was worried if he was gonna actually make it back to the pit. So, and there we have it. Yes, once again, Marcos pulling into the pit. Where is he gonna sit when he actually stops? 0.5 liters of fuel. And just to clarify, 0.5 liters of fuel is no fuel. So Marcos just rolled right on into the pit running his car on fumes. That is very, very good fuel calculations, as always, from Marcos. I may have to start getting with Marcos on fuel calculations, because I must admit I am absolutely terrible at figuring out how much fuel I need in my car, and Marcos is doing a fantastic job at figuring out how much fuel he needs, and he does it every time. It looks like, oh, here we go, we have Faster now closed himself back up. Close that gap. He has really put that right foot down. He is now sitting just over about a 1.5 seconds from Agulator. Oh, there he is within the 1 second gap. They will not catch Aloe Champs in first, but we are definitely going to see a very hard battle for second and third place right here between Agulator and Faster. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. We are on lap 46 of the 53. So that is 7 laps left to go. So yeah, we're going to see an incredible battle here. This is where I'm going to keep it at for the moment. We have the blue back marker getting out of the way to let these two go on through. And further on down the field, we have Flip Flip, as I said could happen, is closed in on Red. Oh, he has taken the position from Red, so Flip Flip now made his way back up into 5th. Flip Flip doing an amazing job tonight. He's really wanting to get himself back up to the grid. I can't leave this battle, but I'm looking at the timings, and I can tell you that Red is really putting his right foot down and trying his damnedest to keep up with Flip Flip. So Flip Flip very fast. Red came in late, taking this league by storm. That also is going to be an incredible battle. I will definitely check in on it if I get just a second to do so. But I have a feeling Agulator and Faster are not going to give me a break here. I think they are going to keep me going the whole time. And as we are starting to get on down a little bit close, if I get a little quiet for just a few seconds here and there, I am going to start trying to get our podium ready for the end of the race. And once again, everyone, I really changed. If you've been watching over the last couple of weeks, you've noticed I have been doing a lot of changes to the I guess the only way for me to say it is the video quality settings for my software. This week I have really pushed the bubble way on up, and hopefully it looks very nice for everyone. Please let me know if it doesn't, but it should look really good. And I do have to say, so far on my end, from what I can tell, my software is running very, very smoothly. So if it looks really good on y'all's end, then this could be our new standard, and I still am gonna try to push it a little bit farther, see if I can kick it up just a teeny bit more. But turning it up a little bit more is gonna put me in danger of crashing the streams and software. So I'm really hoping that y'all really like about where it is sitting right now. And yes, I'm fixing to get quiet for a little bit, quiet on and off here. We've got these battles going on, but I'm going to start getting the podium ready as we are down to the last 5 laps of the Mugello GP with the Ferrari 33 SP. And as promised, these drivers always put on one hell of a show for everyone. It looks like we've had something happen there between Faster and Agulator, or either my timings are very wrong. I'm now showing an almost 30-second gap between the two. So apparently I really was not paying attention there and just running my mouth, and something has definitely happened between those two. So now it looks like we're definitely going to end up with Faster possibly in, or most likely in second, and Agulator, looks like Agulator should definitely be able to hold on to the third. Dr. Fiend is 21 seconds off, or 20 seconds now off. As few laps as we have left, I really don't see that gap getting closed in. I am going to go down here to Flip Flip now catching up with Dr. Fiend, trying to Flip has worked very hard to get himself back up towards the top of the pack. He's really done a great job. He's got massive pressure on Dr. Fiend at the moment. Dr. Fiend has been having a great race though. And I have to go ahead and say, as I'm sitting here trying to line up everything for the podium, if Agulator holds on to his third place position, which I believe he will. He was also third last week. And, you know, I have to say, I didn't manage to get my poll up there for y'all to actually vote on, but everybody voting, if you want to comment on your pick for driver of the day, please do so, and I'll go ahead, excuse me, y'all, and I will get their graphics loaded up and in the correct position too. And I believe I have to say, I mean, I'm torn between K-Morse and Flip. Both have had amazing runs tonight. Flip had a little bit of damage, found himself at the back, and has worked himself all the way up to the front. He was in the top 3 for 3/4 of the race. K-Morse, though, K-Morse has had a fantastic race. My vote is going to go for K-Morse. I really want to give it to Flip, but K-Morse has ran an absolutely amazing race. He now has Marcos trying to close up behind him, but Marcos does have a time penalty, as we can see. I can't leave the action to see how much of a time penalty it is, but we can guarantee it is at least 1 second. So if K-Morse can just keep him fended off, I have a feeling Marcos would have to actually get in front of K-Morse and get himself at least maybe, Marcos got just turned in just a little bit too quick there. And as we can see on the screen, we can see what's going on. The rain is coming back in. It's going to make these last couple of laps very difficult. K-Morse, just hold on to it. You've had a great race. You've got a good solid 7th right now. I mean, Marcos is really putting the pressure on him, but as we just saw a second ago, it's going to be very difficult for Marcos to get around him. Marcos carrying a little bit of front end damage. K-Morse has no damage. As we have a little bit of paint swapping there. Marcos making a fantastic move there. I think that right there was just good racing. That is what I would definitely call just trading a little bit of paint. Maybe some would call that a rub. Of course, I live in America. My idea of rubbing in racing tends to be more like NASCAR, so I'm not a huge fan of rubbing. I like a little paint trading though. So yeah, I'm gonna vote for K-Morse, and so y'all will have to let me know in the chat who y'all are voting for. I was not able to get the actual bot up and working. I'll have to figure that out later on. Oh, whoa, wait a minute, what the... Why is our leader in the pit? Get back out on the track, Allo Champs. I mean, I know you've got a nice little lead there, but this is right here at the end of the race. What are you doing? He is scaring the shit out of me. That's what he's doing. AA Racy, yes, I have no idea why he was in the pits there. That could have been very, very bad, but it has closed in. He is now... I've got to start getting my podium ready just in case here, because we could very well see Faster take first position from Allochamps. He's really putting the pressure on him. Still, I do not understand why Allochamps had gone through the pit there right here at the end of the race, literally on lap 52 of the 53 laps. Oh, thank you very much, Razy. Yes, for those that watch this video back later on, he just pointed out that because we have now gone to a full-blown rain right here at the end. Oh, crap. So, yes, as Razy was pointing out, Allochamps was very, very smart, actually, and went through the pits to grab the wets. So that does mean, though, that if Allochamps has not gone through the pit and grabbed wets, I do not think we're going to see him be able to make this move. It looks like the gap is increasing. He's just going to have a very, very difficult time trying to get this move done. Oh, but it looks like he could possibly. He's going to try. I think he's going to try to go for it, but Allochamps is just really not giving him the opportunity to try to make that happen. It is the last lap of the race. The rain coming down very hard right here at the end. This is definitely something else on the rain here. I did not expect the rain to pick up as hard as it did. This is going to be very tough on a lot of the racers. Thankfully, we are right here at the end. Faster is trying to keep up with Allochamps, but Allochamps being very smart. Those wet tires have definitely paid off. He's increased his gap once again to 2.5 seconds, and it's gaining. But Faster is not in danger of being caught from Agulator, so Faster just needs to be able to hold on to his car for this one lap. That's all the drivers need to do. Flip through the pit. ID4 in the pit. Oh no, it looks like and Faster got a little bit of hydroplane or aquaplaning, depending on where you live in the world as to how you say that. But yeah, the water definitely got under his tires. He went for a quick little ride there. Fantastic job of holding on to it. And here we are with Allochamps. There is Allochamps for the win, giving us the flash, coming across the line. Fantastic job. There is the flash from Faster. Great job, Faster. You did a great job of holding on to your car right there at the end. And where are we at with Agulator? Agulator should not be too terrible far behind. It looks like Flip going through the pit did cost him the position to red. Flip ended up down in 6th place position. And I really want to go up there because I know Allochamps and probably Faster are probably both giving us a little bit of a flash. Because they are very happy at where they finished, but I'm trying to make sure I catch all of our leaders coming across the line. Oh, and yep, there's Agulator across the line, giving us a little bit of a... He's a little happy to have the race done as well. Dr. Fiend, where are you at? still not quite. I'm going to go up here with all of our leaders. They're hanging out over off the side there. I don't blame them, because we do actually still have a couple of drivers still on laps finishing up here. It looks like pretty much everyone is given a little bit of a celebratory spin out and everything there. K-Morse is across the line. Hodgker's across the line. Oh, something bad, really, really, really bad happened to Chef. He is going to give us a final little show there at the end. He's managed to get across the line. Snaker's across the line, and ID4 got across the line. So there it is. Our race is complete. And there you have it. Those are our winners. Allochamps takes first, Faster in second, Agulator in third, Dr. Fiend in fourth, Red in fifth, Flip Flip sixth, Marcos in seventh, K-Morse is eighth, ninth is Hodgker, 10th is ESR Chef, 11th Snaker, 12th ID4, 13th Manic UK, and let me try to get K-Morse's sticker up here. Oh, look at there. K-Morse was already in the right spot. Look at that. That worked out really good. And those are our winners. And because I don't want to go all the way back to that not so pleasant lobby screen, we will go over here to our end talking screen. And yeah, once again, Allochamps in first. Fantastic, especially with that last minute pitting, grabbing those wet tires, managing to keep Faster fended off. That was absolutely fantastic. Faster right there at the end did catch up to Allochamps. He had a little bit of aquaplane, did a great job of catching his car. I mean, just absolutely fantastic display of quality driving out of everyone on the podium and all of the drivers tonight in the Ferrari 33 SP. And I'm getting sidetracked because we had Agulator with a very well-deserved third, and nobody else voted. I voted alone for driver of the day, so I gave it to K-Morse. He had a really, really good race, in my opinion. He was constantly in a battle. Almost, it was pretty much right there at the very end, before he was not in a battle. So I have to say, that was absolutely fantastic racing, as we could see from everyone. And real quick, shameless advertisement again, make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. We're very close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark, so please help us out. And definitely make sure you hit the bell icon so you get the notifications every time we go live. I will update myself. I just have not looked at all the information. We have had so many new races starting up here lately, but at this moment we have almost 2 races daily, so y'all make sure you check them out. The entire schedule is on the website, so check it out. Like I said, we have several races every day. Like today, before this race, we had the GT Sport race, and then the Ferrari 33 SP race on Project Cars, and I believe the Project Cars 2 Academy was also going earlier. I believe they're probably about rounding up now as well. If they're not, then you should definitely go check them out. And if they are done, you need to go check them out anyway. Check out the Gran Turismo Sport race. I watched it. It was really, really good. The drivers did a great job. It was a great job from the commentary team. And make sure also you go check out the Project Cars 2 Academy. And tomorrow, make sure you tune in for Dutch Muso and Cypher Knight for the GT3s. It is also one of the higher tier race leagues for GAVRA Racing. It'll be a great race at Zolder. I don't see how anyone could not like Zolder, but yeah, make sure you hit, once again, like, subscribe. All the links are down in the description below to the website. Check it out. tons of information there. I can't even start to go into all the information and everything Gavra has on there, and he is constantly updating it and changing it. I go myself once or twice a week just to see what he's updated or changed, and there's always something new. And at the very bottom of the web page, if you scroll all the way down, and these links are also in the description below, a link to the Discord channel, because we have several academy leagues. So if you're new to sim racing and you want to try league racing is a huge step up from public lobby racing. There really is no comparison between the two. If you're tired of the public lobbies, or even if you like the public lobbies, you just want to try to step your game up, see if you got what it takes, sign up, join in one of the academy leagues. They're all fantastic. And there is also a link to the Patreon if you wish to help support us. We are community driven. You, the viewers, donate your time to watch us, and the administrators, Gavra, the commentators, the drivers. There is no one in the group that does not donate their time to make this all happen. And yes, all the thoughts just went right out of my head. As y'all can see, it's dark. You ain't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Just like me, I am home, and I can't stay. Wait a minute. Okay, so I can stay put, but y'all can't cause it's dark. Y'all gotta go home. As you can see, all the people in the crowds also, they need to get going home too. And y'all stay tuned here, because I'm gonna change this over, and I have all of the standings that Sig makes for us and on a slideshow, so I'm going to go ahead and change that over so y'all can check out all of those. And I have been Jukebox, your commentator this evening on the Ferrari 33 SP race here at GAVRA Racing. Thank you all very much for watching, and make sure you check out the rest of the races and tune in next week.